Welcome to this video that can truly change the way you focus and change your life. There is a moment in everyone's life when they sit down to study, work, or chase a dream, and suddenly something invisible pulls their mind away. A small sound, a random thought, a memory, a worry, and just like that, your focus disappears. You stare at your book, your screen, or your plan, and it feels impossible to hold your attention. If this sounds familiar, know this, you are not alone. Many people want to improve, grow, and achieve something bigger, but their focus slips away exactly when it matters the most. Now, imagine something different. Imagine a version of you who sits down, and instead of drifting away, your mind becomes sharp. Your thoughts quiet. Your attention becomes like a beam of light, clear, powerful, and steady. Imagine you decide to work for 20 minutes, and you actually do it. No distractions, no mental noise, just you and your goal. This version of you is not a fantasy. It is not something only for geniuses or superheroes. It is something you can build, step by step, habit by habit, choice by choice. Focus is not magic. Focus is a skill, and skills can be trained. Today, I'm taking you on a journey, a simple, human journey, where you will discover 5 practical, powerful, and real ways to protect your attention, train your focus, and take control of your mind. These are not just methods. They are stories, habits, and realizations that can completely shift how you live, learn, and act. Before we begin, be honest with yourself. How many dreams did you leave behind because you lost focus halfway? How many times did you start something and never finish? How many hours did you waste scrolling, worrying, overthinking, or waiting for the perfect moment? Those moments are gone, but you are still here, still breathing, still capable, still powerful. And this time, things can change if you choose to make the change. As you watch, remember, you are not weak. You are not lazy. You are not behind. Your mind simply needs training, just like your body. And once you learn how to take control of your attention, everything else becomes easier. Learning English, improving your career, building confidence, creating discipline, even becoming the person you want to be. And subscribe to the channel for supporting us, my friends, and like the video. So stay with me. Stay present. This is not a normal video. This is a turning point. By the end, you will realize something simple yet powerful. You don't need more time. You need more focus. And right now, you are about to learn exactly how to build it. Way 1. Train your mind to return. There is a beautiful truth about focus that most people never learn. Your mind doesn't have to stay focused all the time. It only needs to learn how to return. You see, many people believe strong focus means never getting distracted. But that idea is impossible. Every human mind gets pulled away. Even the minds of monks, scientists, writers, athletes, everyone. The difference is simple. Ordinary people stay lost when their mind jumps away, but focused people return immediately. Imagine this scene. You wake up early, sit at your desk, open your notebook or laptop, and tell yourself, today, I will focus. For the first few minutes, everything is perfect. You feel fresh. You feel motivated. And then, something tiny pulls your thoughts away. Maybe you suddenly remember a message. Maybe you hear something outside. Maybe a useless thought pops into your mind. At that moment, most people panic inside. They think something is wrong with them. They think they are not smart enough or disciplined enough. This fear becomes the real distraction. But picture another version of you. A version with trained focus. Your mind jumps away for a second, but instead of panic, you gently bring it back. No judgment, no drama. You just return. 30 seconds later, it drifts again. You return again, and again, like breathing, in and out. Your mind wanders, your mind returns. This ability is the foundation of real focus. Not perfection, control. There was a young student named Amir who struggled with concentration his whole life. Every time he sat to study English, he felt his thoughts exploding in different directions. He hated himself for it. He believed he was weak. One day, his teacher told him something simple. Your job is not to keep your mind from wandering. Your job is to bring it back every time it escapes. That is focus. Amir didn't believe it at first, but he practiced. Slowly, gently, consistently. After 2 weeks, something changed. His mind still wandered, but he returned it 5 times faster. After 1 month, he was completing tasks that used to take him hours. He didn't become a different person. He simply became someone who could return. This is what I want you to understand. Focus is not a straight line. It is a dance. Your mind moves away. You bring it back. Over and over. The more you practice this return, the stronger your mental muscles become. Just like lifting weights. You don't lift perfectly every time. You lift, you struggle, you shake, you repeat, and your body grows. Focus is the same. The struggle builds the strength. So how do you train this? Start small. Sit for 5 minutes with a simple task. Reading, writing, studying vocabulary, listening to a lesson. When your mind jumps away, and it will, simply notice it and come back. Don't fight it. Don't insult yourself. Treat your mind like a child you gently guide back home. After a few sessions, increase your time to 10 minutes. Then 15. Not because you force yourself, but because your returning ability becomes faster and easier. There is another powerful thing to keep in mind. Many people lose focus because they try to control everything in their mind. They want silence, clarity, deep concentration instantly. But the mind does not work like a switch. It works like a river. Some parts flow smoothly, others get loud, fast, wild. Your job is to stand at the riverbank and guide the water, not stop it. When you accept that distraction is natural, you remove half of the pressure. And once the pressure disappears, concentration rises. You must also understand that your environment matters, but not in the way you think. Most people obsess over creating the perfect study space. They spend hours fixing their desk, cleaning the room, arranging the perfect atmosphere. But focus does not come from perfection. It comes from training the return. You could be sitting in a quiet room or a busy cafe. You could be studying on a clean desk or a messy table. The environment matters, yes, but not as much as your ability to bring your mind back. Think of artists. Many of them paint in noisy studios. Think of writers. Many write in crowded libraries. Think of entrepreneurs. Many build their businesses in chaotic environments. What do they have in common? The return. They catch their mind drifting, and they pull it back again and again. Some of the greatest ideas in history were created by people who mastered this one skill. Let me give you a small exercise you can begin today. Choose a task. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Start. Your mind will wander. When it does, whisper inside yourself, return. One word. A simple command. A reminder. Every time your mind jumps, bring it back with that word. After 10 minutes, stop. Don't push longer. End the session with success, not exhaustion. Do this daily. In 2 weeks, your mental stamina will double. In 1 month, you will feel a level of clarity you didn't think was possible. Now here is the magic. When you train your mind to return, you don't just improve focus. You improve your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who can control their thoughts, not someone controlled by their thoughts. Your self-confidence grows. Your discipline grows. Your ability to learn anything, especially English, improves faster than you expect. You are not supposed to become a robot who never gets distracted. You are supposed to become a human who knows how to return. And when you master that, every goal becomes easier. Every study session becomes smoother. Every step toward your dream becomes faster. This is the first way, the beginning of your mental training, the foundation of all the focus you will build next. Way 2. Protect your energy before you protect your focus. People try to improve their focus by forcing their mind to work harder. They push themselves. They blame themselves. They sit at their desk and think if I try more, I will focus more. But the truth is different. Focus doesn't come from pressure. It comes from energy. Your brain is not a machine that works perfectly every moment. It is more like a battery. When your energy is low, your mind becomes slow. When your energy is broken, your attention becomes weak. Many people fail not because they don't have focus, but because their energy is already empty before they start. Think about the last time you tried to study or work when you were tired. You opened your book or your laptop, but everything felt heavy. Words didn't stay in your mind. Ideas didn't connect. Even a simple task felt impossible. You thought you needed more discipline, but actually you needed more energy. Without energy, focus becomes fragile. Let me tell you a story about a girl named Sana. She was ambitious. She wanted to improve her English, start her own online work, and help her family. She always told herself she needed stronger focus. She watched videos about concentration. She read articles. She even bought apps that promised deep focus. But every time she tried to study, her mind felt exhausted. She thought something was wrong with her. But when she shared this with her mentor, he asked her a simple question: how is your energy? Sanaa realized she was sleeping late, skipping meals, drinking too much caffeine, worrying too much, and never giving herself a break. Her mentor told her, "You don't have a focus problem. You have an energy problem." And that moment changed everything. Energy is not magic. It is the foundation of mental performance. When your body feels safe, rested, and balanced, your mind becomes more stable. When your body is stressed, hungry, or exhausted, your mind becomes scattered. Your brain literally cannot hold attention because it switches into survival mode. In survival mode, focus becomes impossible. That is why protecting your energy must come before protecting your focus. Imagine someone wants to build a tall building. Before they build the first floor, they create a strong foundation. Without that foundation, the building collapses. Your brain works the same way. Energy is your foundation. Focus is the building. Many people try to build the building without fixing the foundation and then wonder why everything falls apart. Let's explore this deeply, but simply. First, your sleep. It is impossible to talk about focus if your sleep is inconsistent. Your brain cleans itself, repairs itself, and organizes memories while you sleep. When you skip sleep or reduce it, your brain loses clarity. It becomes harder to think, harder to plan, and harder to focus. Some people pride themselves on sleeping only 4 or 5 hours. They think it makes them strong or disciplined, but in reality, they are damaging their own mind. A brain without sleep is like a phone stuck on 1% battery. Second, your food. Many people underestimate the connection between food and focus. When you start your day without eating something real, something with protein, vitamins, and real nutrients, you sacrifice your ability to concentrate. Your brain needs fuel. Junk food, sugary snacks, and empty calories give you a quick boost and then crash your energy, leaving you distracted and unfocused. If you want focus, you need steady fuel. Third, your emotional energy. Many people try to focus while their heart is full of chaos, worry, fear, stress, regret, anger, pressure. They think they can ignore it and continue studying. But emotions are not weak. They are powerful. When your emotions are heavy, your mind becomes heavy. Trying to focus with emotional stress is like trying to run with weights tied to your legs. You can move, but not freely. Fourth, your mental boundaries. Distractions don't only come from outside. Messages, notifications, noise. They come from inside. Thoughts, memories, unfinished tasks. When you don't organize your mind, everything inside fights for attention. That chaos drains your energy. People think focus requires more strength. In reality, it requires more protection. Protection of your sleep. Protection of your peace. Protection of your time. Protection of your emotional space. The more you protect, the easier focus becomes. You don't need to fight your mind. You need to support it. Now imagine someone who wakes up after a good sleep, drinks a glass of water, eats something simple but nutritious, takes a few minutes to breathe or stretch, and then starts their work. Their mind feels clearer. Their thoughts feel calmer. Their attention becomes sharper, not because they forced themselves, but because they prepared themselves. This preparation is the key many people ignore. Another example. Think of athletes. Before a game, they don't simply jump into action. They warm up. They stretch. They prepare their body and mind. They protect their energy. Only then they give their full performance. Your focus works the same way. You prepare before you act. You protect your energy before you use it. Let's return to Sanaa. After she started protecting her energy, sleeping earlier, drinking more water, eating better, taking small breaks, her focus improved automatically. She didn't change her mind. She changed her lifestyle. And her mind followed. Her sessions became longer. Her understanding became deeper. She stopped fighting with herself. She started working with herself. This is what I want you to take from Way 2. Focus is not built only by mental exercises. It is built by the way you treat yourself. If you treat your mind like a tired machine, it will collapse. If you treat it like a living, breathing part of your life, it will help you. Focus is a partnership between you and your energy. Before you demand more concentration, give your body what it needs. Before you complain about distraction, ask yourself if you are exhausted. Before you blame your discipline, look at your lifestyle. Protect your energy like something valuable, because it is. It is your fuel, your power, your foundation. The moment you begin taking your energy seriously, your focus will rise without force. You will sit at your desk and feel ready. You will open your book and feel steady. You will start your tasks and feel calm, and clarity will become your natural state. This is the second way. The reminder that you cannot build focus on an empty battery. Protect your energy, your focus will follow. Way 3. Remove the invisible weight from your mind. There is a strange thing that happens in the human mind. You sit down to focus, you look at your task, and something inside you feels heavy. Not physically, but mentally. A pressure, a noise, a weight. You try to ignore it, but it grows. You try to push through it, but it pulls your attention away again and again. Most people never understand what this weight is. They think it's laziness or weakness. But the truth is simpler and more human. The mind cannot focus when it is overloaded. Picture a computer with too many tabs open. It becomes slow. It freezes. It crashes. Not because the computer is bad, but because it is overwhelmed. Your brain works the same way. When you have too many unfinished tasks, too many responsibilities, too many thoughts, too many worries, your mind becomes like that overloaded computer. Your focus doesn't disappear. It gets buried under mental clutter. Let me take you into a story. There was a guy named Daniel who wanted to improve his life, learn English, and create new habits. But every time he tried to study, he felt uncomfortable. He couldn't explain why. He tried different study methods, different apps, different environments, but nothing changed. One day his friend asked him, "What exactly is on your mind right now?" Daniel started listing things. Bills, a message he needed to reply to, a decision he was avoiding, a project he hadn't finished, a responsibility he kept delaying. When he finished speaking, he realized something powerful. His mind wasn't failing. His mind was full. The invisible weight was not the task in front of him. It was everything behind him. This is the secret most people never realize. You cannot focus forward if your mind is stuck behind you. Your brain is constantly trying to track all your unfinished business. Even small things, like a dentist appointment you haven't booked, a friend you want to call, or a plan you keep postponing, sit in the background of your mind and drain your mental energy. These unfinished tasks are called open loops, and open loops are deadly for focus. When you sit down to work, your brain doesn't see one task. It sees everything you have not done yet. That is why you feel tired even before you begin. Your mind is trying to balance too many things at the same time. Now here is the solution, and it is beautifully simple. You don't need to finish everything. You just need to clear your mind space before you start. Think of it like cleaning a table before cooking. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it must have room for you to work. How do you clear that space? You start with a mental download. For 5 minutes, write down every single thing that is sitting in your head. Tasks, worries, ideas, plans, messages, everything. Put it on paper. When you do this, something magical happens. Your mind stops trying to hold everything at once. It finally breathes. Once everything is on paper, choose one task that truly matters today. Only one. Your focus becomes stronger instantly because your mind loves clarity. When it knows the number one task, the rest becomes quiet. Let's go back to Daniel. After he wrote everything down, he realized most of the noise in his head came from tasks he could finish in less than 5 minutes. Things like sending a short message, paying a small bill, or organizing a file. He finished those small tasks first. In less than an hour, half of his mental weight disappeared. And when he sat down to study English that evening, he felt lighter. His focus flowed naturally, not because he became more disciplined, but because his mind was finally free. This is what I want you to understand. The mind hates confusion. It hates open loops. It hates unfinished tasks sitting in the background. Imagine trying to read a book while someone keeps whispering in your ear. That is what open loops do. They whisper, constantly, softly, but enough to break your flow. Removing the invisible weight is not just about productivity. It is about mental peace. It is about creating internal silence so your focus can breathe. When your mind has space, your thoughts become clearer. Your ideas become sharper. Your concentration becomes deeper. Another important part of this way is simplifying your environment. Not cleaning it perfectly, just removing the unnecessary. Your physical space affects your mental space. A cluttered desk creates a cluttered mind. You don't need a perfect room. You just need enough clarity for your brain to feel at ease. Now imagine a version of yourself waking up, doing a 5-minute brain dump, completing a few tiny tasks, and then sitting down with complete mental freedom. Your focus becomes enjoyable. You feel in control. You feel fast. You feel relaxed. This is the power of removing the invisible weight. You don't need a new brain. You need a lighter one. And when your mind finally has space, focus is no longer a battle. It becomes a natural state. This is the third way, the way of clearing space, the way of freeing the mind before using it. Way 4. Build a ritual that tells your brain it's time to focus. Most people try to focus by simply sitting down and starting. They expect their brain to switch instantly into concentration mode, like turning on a light. But the brain doesn't work like a light switch. It works like a rhythm, a pattern, a signal. And if you don't give it the right signal, it refuses to enter deep focus. Think about sleep. You don't lie down and fall asleep in 1 second. Your body follows a ritual: brushing your teeth, dimming the lights, lying in bed, closing your eyes. These actions tell your brain it's time to sleep. Without this ritual, your mind becomes restless. Focus works the same way. You need a ritual that tells your brain, now it's time to concentrate. Now it's time to enter the zone. Now it's time for deep work. Without a ritual, you fight your own biology. With a ritual, your brain follows you willingly. Let me start with a true idea hidden in plain sight. The brain loves patterns. When you repeat a series of small actions before starting your work, your brain begins to recognize that pattern as the focus sequence, a code that unlocks concentration. Over time, those small actions become a psychological switch. You don't have to force yourself anymore. The ritual does the work for you. Let me tell you about Ryan. He struggled with studying for years. Every time he tried to focus, he felt lost. His mind stayed noisy. His motivation disappeared fast. One day, his tutor suggested something simple: create a focus ritual. 3 to 5 small actions you repeat every day before studying. Ryan didn't believe it would work, but he tried. His ritual was simple. He drank a glass of water. He adjusted his chair. He put his phone far away. He opened his notebook. He took 1 deep breath. 5 steps. Less than 1 minute. But after 1 week, something changed. The moment he started his ritual, his brain became quiet. His thoughts slowed down. His focus came faster. He didn't have to fight for concentration anymore. His ritual did half the work. Now, I want you to think about your own life. How often do you prepare your mind for focus? Or do you just jump straight into work and hope everything goes well? That hope is unreliable. Humans are creatures of repetition. We learn rhythm faster than instructions. When you build a ritual, you are training your brain like an athlete warms up. No athlete starts by sprinting at full speed. They stretch. They breathe. They prepare their muscles. Your mind, too, needs a warm-up. Without it, you push your brain from cold to hot, and it resists. With it, your brain flows naturally. A focus ritual doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, simple rituals are more powerful. Let's talk about why they work. First, a ritual reduces resistance. When you sit down to work, your brain sometimes feels threatened by the effort required. A ritual breaks the effort into tiny steps. Tiny steps produce little resistance. When resistance is low, focus becomes smoother. Second, a ritual creates consistency. Your brain needs familiarity to feel safe. A ritual becomes a familiar pattern that tells your mind, I've done this before. I know what happens next. This calmness becomes the soil where deep concentration can grow. Third, a ritual builds identity. When you repeat the same actions, you begin to feel like a focused person. An identity is far more powerful than motivation. You don't say, I must focus. You begin to feel, I am someone who focuses. That shift is massive. Fourth, a ritual eliminates emotional noise. Most distractions come from internal chaos, stress, worry, doubt, fatigue. A ritual interrupts that chaos and gives your mind direction. It becomes a path your attention can follow. Let's talk about what a good ritual might look like for you. You can choose actions that feel natural and calming. It could be a deep breath, a sip of water, a short stretch, putting your phone in another room, opening your notebook to a clean page, adjusting your posture, playing a soft sound or silence, setting a timer. Each of these actions sends a message. We're entering focus mode. Do not underestimate how powerful a 1-minute ritual can be when repeated for 1 month. It can transform your entire relationship with work. Let me give you another story. A woman named Layla worked from home, and distractions were everywhere. Kids, noise, notifications, dishes, messages. She felt guilty all day because she could never fully concentrate. Her therapist suggested building a focus ritual, a quick one she could do several times a day. Her ritual was this. She closed her eyes for 5 seconds, took one slow breath, placed her hands on the table, and repeated a simple sentence in her mind. Now I begin. This tiny ritual changed her life. Her mind recognized the sentence as a command. Her attention became steady. Her stress dropped. Her productivity doubled. The power wasn't in the sentence. The power was in the repetition. When you do the same ritual enough times, your brain begins to enter focus automatically. It becomes a conditioned response, like hearing a familiar song that brings a familiar feeling. That is why the greatest writers, musicians, entrepreneurs, and thinkers all have their own rituals. They drink tea before writing. They stretch before performing. They walk before speaking. These actions are not random. They are designed to unlock clarity. If you want powerful focus, build a powerful ritual. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for inspiration. Don't wait for your mind to magically cooperate. Lead your mind with routine. Guide it with repetition. Shape it with rhythm. Now imagine this version of you. You sit down. You begin your ritual. Your mind becomes quiet. Your thoughts become organized. Your attention becomes sharp. Your work begins without friction. You are no longer chasing focus. You are creating it. This is the fourth way, the way of ritual, the way of signaling your brain to enter its higher mode. Way 5. Eliminate distractions and protect your focus. Imagine you are sitting at your desk, ready to study or work. Your notebook is open, your pen is in hand, but your phone buzzes. A notification pops up. A thought crosses your mind. Just a quick check. 1 minute turns into 10, and your focus is gone. You've lost your flow. This is the reality for most of us. Focus is fragile, and distractions are everywhere. But here's the good news. You can control what takes your attention. You can protect your focus like a treasure because your concentration is the key to achieving your goals. The first step is recognition. Notice what pulls you away. Social media, noisy environments, multitasking. These are the enemies of focus. Write down your top 3 distractions. Seeing them on paper makes them real, and now you can fight them. Next, create a distraction-free zone. This is your personal focus bubble. Turn off notifications, silence your phone, and if possible, find a quiet place. Even a small change, like clearing your desk of unrelated items, can dramatically increase your concentration. Your brain responds to signals. Clean space, clean mind. Then, set boundaries. Tell others when you are in focus mode. Let your friends, family, or roommates know that for the next hour, you are unavailable. Respect your own boundaries too. The world can wait. Your goals cannot. Another powerful tip is to schedule focus time in short, intense bursts. This is called the Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes without interruption, then take a 5-minute break. During work time, commit fully. Your mind loves structure, and this rhythm trains your attention to stay sharp. Finally, reward yourself. After a successful focus session, do something small that makes you happy. Celebrate your ability to resist distractions. This builds a positive cycle. The more you protect your focus, the more rewarding it becomes. Remember, focus is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Every time you resist a distraction, your mind becomes more powerful. Every time you protect your attention, you move one step closer to your dreams. So today, start small. Turn off one notification. Clear your desk. Tell one person you need an hour of uninterrupted focus. You'll feel the difference immediately. Protect your focus, and your life will follow. Take a moment and look at your life. Every dream you have is waiting for you, but it will not walk toward you. You must walk toward it. You listen to these 5 ways. Now choose one, just one, and do it today, not next week, not someday, today. If you want to grow, show it. If you want to change, prove it. Your life is yours, but only if you act. So pause this video for 1 minute. Think of one small action, then do it. And when you finish, come back here and write it in the comments. Tell the world what step you took. Not to impress anyone, no. To remind yourself that you are a person who moves, not a person who waits. Hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it. But more important than all of that, move. Because nothing changes until you do.